We could be looking at more postponements this season when it comes to Dundee versus Rangers, but this time the issues are not with Dens Park, and instead it is going to be Ibrox. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Last season it was the Dark Blues that were causing the issues. This time it's just the Blues. Rangers, normally their problems are on the pitch with shite performances, but this season it could be off the pitch. A stadium delays could mean that Ibrox is out of the equation for the first few games of the 2024-2025 Scottish Premiership campaign.
After a delay in material shipment from Asia. So yeah,
cheap parts.
Yeah, cheap parts, whatever, all the jokes are in there to be made.
Made in China.
I think it's so poor because
get them fined.
I think Rangers have had a pretty decent start to the pre-season. They've signed a decent amount of players. And now it's looking like a load of games could be played away for Ibrox.
And that's your home advantage gone straight away.
I'm not too worried about the league. I am worried about the league because we need to win it, but I don't think it'll affect Rangers as much in the league as it would in the Champions League.
That Champions League qualifier, the difference between that not taking place at Ibrox and taking place in a neutral venue could be massive.
Yeah, so the delayed work is it's affected work on the Copeland stand, but right, obviously the fixtures get announced in a week's time, so next Thursday they get announced, and I think the problem is what they're going to do. We've seen in the Premier League with Wembley and Tottenham and
could just have the first 4 or 5 games away from home.
Luton is and that's not what you want.
It's not a good start here. It's a very good start to the season if you can come out of the first 4 or 5 away games with a 100% record.
Yeah, well, one will be the Parkhead, so I doubt that'll happen. But to me, this is the last thing Rangers need it. It's seriously the last thing they need it now. Philip Clement's side are likely to be away from home for their opening league fixture on the 3rd or 4th of August, but then at home at the following weekend. So that puts you in, the 10th or the 11th. You've also got the Champions League fired in there. Now, Rangers do play Man United at Murrayfield on the 20th of July. Could that be a wee tester? Could that be a wee teaser? What do you think?
Trying out Murrayfield to see if it works. Could happen.
There's talk of Murrayfield or Hampden.
Here, they're charging about the same price for a league game, so...
they are, but
who knows?
Obviously Murrayfield's a better stadium. Don't think anyone's going to really but Hampden's better. It's in Glasgow. I think it's
more suitable, it's more accessible. Don't get me wrong, I mean... If Rangers have to play a couple of games in Murrayfield, I have no doubt they'll sell it out.
Yeah.
Or will they?
67,000?
For a league game at the start of the season?
I think the fact that it could be it's at Murrayfield might entice more people to go in a weird way. I don't know.
Would that mean a larger percentage though for the away teams?
It might.
Could be.
Yeah, it would be a unique start to the season, but it's a spanner in the works that Rangers didn't want.
And also, how would cause problems? I'm going to imagine with Hibs and Hearts. Wouldn't really want them playing in the same day.
You don't think so? They wouldn't. But I don't think it would be too bad.
You could have 4 sets of different fans travelling through Edinburgh. I'm not necessarily sure they'd want that.
Because it's at Murrayfield. Would it go down as a home game and would Rangers get it on TV? I don't even know how it would work.
Whereas if they just had Rangers play at Hampden, it wouldn't really change anything. You would just treat it as if Rangers were playing at Ibrox. And just avoid Celtic and Rangers playing at home at the same time. So,
so the guy in charge, I don't know what he's called, is it the groundsman or whoever? He's been sacked from Rangers due to this failure to deliver these parts on time. I mean, what a mess.
Have Rangers paid for them though? That's the big question.
That is the big question. I'm going to assume that they have paid for them, but I mean,
they got any receipts?
Rangers needed to start the season strong, right? And I'm not going to make any excuses about 5 away games in a row at the start of the season, but that's not what you want, right? It's not.
It's just a headache that's not necessary.
Yeah, and then you factor in the Champions League games as well. It's they've got a favourable enough potential opponents in there, but factor in you would have no Ibrox factor. Not exactly good, but here, if you got the majority of the fans, that's one way to start it. So the club has
if you look at Rangers' success in European football in recent years, I think the Ibrox nights have been pivotal towards that.
No, they have been.
Don't get me wrong, if they're playing at Hampden or Murrayfield, they'll still have the large section of fans, but It's not the same, you know, you're still not playing at your home stadium.
Some Celtic fans said on Twitter earlier, now this is bullshit, right? But let's just give it the light of day for the sake
Let's
of the
give it a chance, even though I don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah, he said he's heard rumours that Ibrox is rife with asbestos. Now, if you don't know what asbestos is, it's not good.
It's very dangerous, actually.
Yes, if you breathe it in, you're humped. Now, it might not affect you till later down the road, but it's one of those substances which they just used to use on old buildings, etc., etc. And if I don't really recall any football stadium being rife with asbestos, but any building has to get knocked down.
Is that what they breathed in 2012?
Here, it could have been, but in all seriousness, if a football stadium was rife of asbestos, I would think it would have to get knocked down, but I can't recall. I mean, that's a mighty accusation there, brother. I mean, that would be a mess in itself, because how long would they have to stay away from Ibrox? But I've seen Celtic fans talking about the fact, well, they played alright with no fans, and they won the league the last time. I don't want them to have no fans this time around. It's all swings and roundabouts at the end of the day, but I mean, I don't want them to be away from Ibrox for too long. Murrayfield or Hampden, it's not suitable. If it's a game or two, fair enough, but you've no idea how long this is going to take. The shipment for China's no here, and then how long is it going to take? And how long's the delay been? And I think we'll know more in a week's time when these fixtures are announced, because at the end of the day, like you said, if you're playing in Edinburgh, you have to work around the other two clubs, etc., all that good stuff. So it's a mess. It's the last thing Rangers need it after a pretty strong...
Yeah, knowing Scotland, like, they'd probably tell Hearts and Hibs they have to play elsewhere. You have to move to the Highlands for a month until Rangers get sorted.
Until the Rangers get sorted. Anyway, guys, we're sorted. This is your daily fix. More news coming very soon. Till next time. Peace.